Hello everyone, Dan14 Prime here. I want to do a video share out today with a new addition to the Prime Pyre. This is the Prime 1 Studios 1/3 scale Wonder Woman as inspired by a Rebirth cover by Stanley Artgerm. So it's another one of these pieces that tries to mimic like some artwork in some way. But really I think in how the overall piece is done compared to say like some of the recent Hush pieces or the Detective 1000 Fabok piece, it really only shows up, I would say, in the portrait. And this statue really just works as a great overall 1/3 scale Wonder Woman for any DC holistic collection. And I say that because there's a Fabok piece out there as well with the Hydras. Looks super cool. Costs about $400 more than this one. But it's going to be much more of a space hog, just bigger, heavier, and kind of with its own design theme going on. It's not necessarily going to fit next to your Batman and Superman. So for those reasons, I went with this piece. And yeah, I think it's like the Wonder Woman to have. It's a very good statue. We'll get into it. It's not mind-blowing, but it's really, really good. I'd say I'm even pleasantly surprised with it. Retails for about $1,100. Just one box. Check me out on Instagram, same handle Dan14 Prime. If you want to see the pack out, the box, the unboxing, things like that, all saved down into my profile, Dan14 Prime. So this piece here, ES of 1000, what you see in front of you is what you get. No extra swap outs, no exclusive, no bonus, nothing like that. They did do a 10th anniversary silver repaint of this. So if you're more into silver than gold, that's available out there as well. Probably has an ES of like 250, 350, something like that is what they tend to do. But me, I went with the gold because I prefer it personally. All right, so as I've been talking, I've been letting you enjoy some views of this piece, but let's jump in closer. All right, so let's just start down here at the base. Pretty simple. You see the Wonder Woman logo there on the front. This kind of like, I don't know, nickel kind of colored base with some interesting designs across the bottom for trim and some gold trim that you see. But overall, just kind of very simple. And it just sort of goes up into this cloud of like dust and rock and all of this. I don't know if she's running, jumping off something, superhero style, whatever, but it's just sort of a mess of smoke and rock. It's fine. It's nothing special. It's just kind of like blah. I'm like indifferent to it, like whatever. The main thing I like about it in the piece, pretty efficient footprint overall, because dimension-wise here, even like depth and width, counting the protruding pieces of the smoke kind of up in the air, you're talking about like 14.5 by 15.5 in terms of depth and width. So very displayable footprint. So let's just jump up and we'll kind of chunk her in half. So lower half here, it looks good. The Rebirth, I don't mind the Rebirth look. Some of those like Rebirth New 52 looks aren't my favorite. Wonder Woman, I think it's still pretty solid and reliable, using more of like the skirt and everything, which does look good still for Wonder Woman. So I like overall like the design, the big red boots, the sculpt, the skin tone. Looks great. It's not going to show up probably on camera too well. We'll try to go even closer. Just the tone, the sculpt, the shape of her body. It's athletic, but it's still soft. You see the sword out there to the side. Probably creates a little bit of extra width relative to the smoke. Maybe at its widest width, you'd be like 19 inches. But again, you can sort of pivot her a smidge, probably either way, and kind of manage some of that width to go more diagonal into the back. So if I need to do that, I will. And just letting her spin a bit, you can just check out all the details. Again, she's got the leg up, kind of this almost leaping with the left leg, bent in the right. You can see you've got the fabric wired posable cape. It's all right. I thought I wasn't going to use it, but now that I have it and it's on there, I'm like, it's not too bad. It's not overbearing. It's not big. It doesn't get in the way too much. And it's in the back, which actually adds something from the front view. I don't love how it blocks the back and stuff, but I'm not going to see the back. I think it adds a little extra flair when you look at it from the front. And here I'm trying to soften the lights because it kind of creates some glare and washes it out. But again, just that skin tone. Yeah, there's just like something there. It's really hard to get on camera. But it just looks very good, very natural. I love the skin. Again, I love the sculpt. Lean, athletic build. You know, you can see the anatomy. It's there, the muscles. But it's still soft, kind of very feminine. So I think it's fantastic. And again here, trying to go a little easier on the lights. You can see the sword, the God Killer, I guess, if you want to call it. It's simple. The blade, there's not a ton of detail there, but here at the crossbar, you've kind of got like the Wonder Woman WW, or at least a W sort of in there. That's hard to see probably in here. And the hands, I'll show you in a second. Super impressive hands. So trying to go in close here on the hand. I think that has got to be like one of the best hand sculpts and painting with the fingernails and everything that I've seen Prime 1 do on a comic-based statue. Just really impressed by that. And then here, the other side, just so we're looking at it, again, just so natural looking, every finger. Let's just check out the upper half here. Again, you got the lasso right there, sculpted. Just pegs in, looks good. You can see all these flaps around the skirt. Again, they're all separate pieces. Kind of go in there. And then just the whole red torso section. That's definitely a cool part of the Rebirth design. The shield, just sort of like this leather, almost kind of looking brown. There you get the torso. Again, great sculpt, vibrant, a lot of nice contrast with sort of the dark lines all in between. Shaded in, the gold eagle, all of that looks really good. The armband. The bracelets here, they're like silver, but they've almost got like a blue-purple kind of undertone. I don't know how obvious that is on camera, but if you compare to the sword, which is more of a silver, look at the bracelets, you can see a bit of the color difference there. Lots of good details inside the shield. Again, look at the hand. It's really good, just like every finger, just like perfectly long fingers sculpted in, fingernails. We'll go in closer on the portrait, but there's a nice like blue hue all through the hair as well. And the sculpt of the hair is like phenomenal, really very dynamic, brings a lot to the piece overall. The cloak just kind of pulls over the head and just more or less sits on there, and then has all the wires. On the side again, armband, bracelets, things like that. So really beautiful looking piece. I'll show you the look here around back. You got the left arm wielding the sword, kind of out to the side like that. The hair, kind of just how it flows back. Again, super beautiful, dynamic, sculpted really well. And then the cloak, right? And I'm not going to, because you got to take all that stuff apart. I'm not going to, okay, actually here, I'm not going to go so far as to pull it over her head, because it's kind of a snug fit over her head, but I've got all the pieces off. So I can just get it really out of the way. And you can check out that sculpt. It's really cool from the back. I mean, the muscle tone in her back, the kind of corset armor look thing with the V in the back, the muscles in the back of the arm, really looks good. I can see why a lot of people are choosing not to use the cloak, because that just looks really good. But again, you don't see it from the front. So if you want something that actually adds a little extra to the view of the front, I figure, well, may as well have the cloak on. Okay, you know what? Screw it. We're like 90% of the way there. So there it is. I'll just take it all the way off. That's the look without it. Again, I like it. It looks good. Maybe I'll just mix it up and do it both ways. But I love definitely the whole back, the whole sculpting through the back, the details in the anatomy. It looks good. And actually from this view, depending on how you display it, if you get a good profile view from your display, you'll see more of that, which is awesome as well. Then of course, last but certainly not least, the portrait. Again, with the hair and everything, the whole look. She looks beautiful, right? It looks really good. We're trying to take some of the lights down again, because it kind of just sheens off the skin a bit, but I'll turn it up a little bit more. You can take a look at that portrait. In the pics, I always thought like the eyes look weird. They probably do a little. Again, it's that art. They're grabbing that art from the cover. So I get it. They've achieved what they were trying to accomplish. But again, statues mimicking art isn't necessarily my preferred way of doing things, but it's better than I expected. And even as I look at it on camera versus person, it's better in person too. It doesn't come off as much like sort of like trying to put art on a statue. In the pics, I thought, man, her eyes just look so painted, if that makes any sense. Like it's so painted on. Actually, in person, they look much more alive. It looks much more natural. So better than I thought there. She's kind of got an open mouth going. Again, so there's a little bit of kind of like sex appeal to this. Again, that's kind of what some of this guy does. But I think when you just take the portrait and the hair overall, I think it just really is a great, beautiful look. So there you have it, guys. The Prime 1 Wonder Woman Rebirth Stanley Artgerm Luau cover inspired. Again, I think it's the Wonder Woman to have now at 1/3 scale. And for the foreseeable future, if you're looking for a Wonder Woman that kind of easily fit into your DC collection. Great footprint, attractive price, particularly in today's statue price world. Really a relatively dynamic pose that brings her to life. Great sculpt, fantastic sculpt, great skin tone, paint, beautiful portrait, flowing hair. So given what we know we have now is coming, or has been teased so far, yeah, I don't think you're going to get a better Wonder Woman in the next couple years, in hand at least. So based on that, for me, easy choice to pull the trigger on this. And yeah, I went with the gold because I prefer it. You can go with silver if you like to. Total ES across both those. Again, it's going to be something like 1350 probably, combined for the gold trim and the 10-year exclusive. So decent ES, but I think it'll sell because it's an attractive price point and we don't get as many Wonder Woman options. So I wouldn't wait too long if you're taking a look at it. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Again, links down in the description below. Affiliate links for shopping, Instagram for unboxing and just other statue collection sharing. So check that out. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.